He's Brandon Staley, the Chargers head coach. He was with the Rams. He's been at a variety of places. He's been at Tennessee. He's been at Hutchinson Community College, John Carroll University, St. Thomas in Minnesota. And yes, you would have thought he would have ended up with the Chargers as the new head coach. He's Brandon Staley. Did I miss anything on the resume there, Brandon, of all your stops here?
Yeah, Northern Illinois, James Madison, and then, Chicago, Denver. The list is long and distinguished.
If I would have told you when you were at John Carroll 6 years ago, hey, you're going to be an NFL head coach, you would have said what?
I would have said that, I believe that I could do it. I think, that's the belief I had in myself. And I think the people that were with me at Carroll would verify that, but I think they would probably be the only people that would verify it in the world. And I understand that, a lot of people, needed Google to figure out, just exactly who I was. But, I think, what I've tried to do is, every opportunity that I've received is just try to, prove myself. And hopefully with this opportunity, I'll be able to do the same thing.
And I don't know, it was probably 20 years ago. I'm at the University of Dayton. I see this 18-year-old freshman, and I'm in the communications building, and I saw Brandon Staley. I've never told this story. And he said he wanted to be in the media, and I said, son, you look like a football coach. And that was it. That was all I said to him, and I can now tell that story publicly. We did it, Brandon. We did
it. Yeah. I'm one of the few people that know, your full name. I'm aware of where it all began. And so, like I said, Flyer pride.
We are UD. And he was also the starting quarterback. Who plays in the NFL the way you played at Dayton?
Oh, man. That's a good question, Dan. I would say maybe a little Baker Mayfield. Maybe a little Baker, because I wasn't the tallest guy, 6-footer, mobility, but not like an elite athlete, but good enough and, competitor. I think Baker certainly throws it better than I did, but that could be a decent comp.
A better college quarterback, you or Sean McVay?
Brandon Staley. Sean McVay played receiver.
Oh, I thought he was a quarterback.
Yeah, high school option quarterback.
Okay.
Then he got moved to receiver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then you were a better college quarterback than he was.
Of course. Yeah.
How do you sell yourself in an interview to be the head coach? Because you do have to sell yourself, I'm guessing.
Well, I think, Dan, you got to be yourself, number one. And I think that, so much about a head coaching interview is just expressing your vision for how you're going to lead a team. And I think that, it's a difficult job because it requires a lot of different skill sets to be good at it. And I think what you got to try and do is share your vision for all the parts of the job, not just, defense or offense or the kicking game, but, how you're going to lead everybody in the building, how you're going to connect, to your players, how you're going to connect to fans, how are you going to organize schedules and how are you going to lead a team, 365 days out of the year. And so, that's why I've been working so hard throughout my whole life, because this has been my dream and I've been working towards it. And I think in that interview, I was able to express all the things that I've been working so hard for. And, I was fortunate. That's what the Spanos family, Tom Telesco, Ed McGuire, that's what they were looking for. And it really, really fit well in the interview process.
But also being an offensive minded guy as a college quarterback, at what point do you make the shift to being a defensive minded coach?
Yeah, I think that my background, Dan, as a quarterback has really, I think sort of shaped the trajectory of my career as a defensive coach, because I think when you see the game through the lens of the quarterback, it's just going to change you, knowing that you're responsible for all 22 every single play, knowing, the responsibility the quarterback has within the team, the locker room, outside. I think, my defensive philosophy has certainly been driven by my experiences as a quarterback and, trying to make it tough on that position, because the reality is this is a quarterback league and you look no further than the 4 teams that are playing right now. You have to be able to, compete with these guys ultimately to be successful. And then when you're the head coach of a team, you need to be able to help your quarterback, become as good as he can be.
You interviewed for other jobs, right? Eagles, yeah. Texans.
That's correct.
Were you offered those jobs?
I was not. No, this is the first opportunity that was offered to me, and this is the one we were shooting for. And it was such a great experience to go through that process. And I think it became clear to me and my family that this was the place that we were hoping would choose us.
And you don't have to move, do you?
Just right down the road. I know my wife, that's early Christmas present. I won husband of the year, and didn't even really, need to get to Christmas to do it. So, we're off to a good start in this new year. And, my family and I have really fallen in love with California and I, in a short time and during a pandemic. So I can only imagine what this place is like when, it'll be up and running. So we're so excited to be a part of the Southern California community.
We're talking to the new Chargers head coach, the pride of Perry, Ohio. He's Brandon Staley. Who do people say that you look like? You get mistaken for anybody?
There have been some like Matt Leinart, Johnny Knoxville. There have been some people that have kind of gone like that direction.
I can see
hair.
the Knoxville. I can see, and I also thought of Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Not as familiar with Peter, but I'll have to look him up. But I think that those are a few that have been thrown at me. Whether or not they're accurate, I don't know.
Johnny Knoxville, I can see that. I'm sure you have a personality that is nothing like Johnny Knoxville.
Well, I'd love to meet the guy. I know he's good at what he does. So I know I've watched a lot of his movies. So maybe we can connect at some point.
What was that first meeting with Justin Herbert like?
Special, on the way home after I called my family, I really, something that's important to me, Dan, is just reaching out to the guys and just being able to connect with him right away. And then yesterday on our way to the press conference, we kind of FaceTime him, my wife and I, because, I wanted him to share in this special day because, he's at the front of everything that we're doing. And, we got to really pour into him because he has so many special qualities that we're excited to get working with. And, certainly one of the highlights of this opportunity. And with that comes great responsibility. So looking forward to getting started with Justin for sure.
Before I leave you or let you go, you got other important things to do, but I know cancer has played a role in your life. And if you could maybe deliver a message to this audience of what you've gone through, your parents have gone through, and sort of the importance of that. And even you singled out Shelley Smith, one of my good friends at the press conference who went through cancer, and a wonderful reporter. And I don't know, it touched me that you singled out Shelley Smith with everything she's gone through, but you've certainly gone through some things yourself.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those moments. It was almost like my mother was, kind of watching down on us. Both my parents had cancer. My dad just went through prostate cancer treatment in the fall. Thumbs up, got a really good report. But my mom passed away when I was in college. She had breast cancer that turned into a lot of things for 9 years. And I saw a lot as a young guy growing up, and her strength, her grace, her resilience. And then when you go through it yourself, when you were actually feeling it, I went through Hodgkin's lymphoma when I was 24, and you do 6 months of chemotherapy, 6 weeks of radiation. And when you come on the other side of it, there's just a strength, there's a confidence, there's a feeling that you can't really explain. And when I saw Shelley Smith, when she was going through her treatment, I grew up watching ESPN. I grew up watching you and Stewart and all those people there that made that so special. I was one of those gym rats, studying all that I could and watching Shelley go through what she went through. I just saw a lot of the grace and that my mother had. And, it was a really cool moment. And, I think that if you see me here today, hopefully for any boy or girl growing up, going through something difficult, maybe it's not that, but something, really challenging. If you come on the other side of it, if you believe in yourself, that your dreams can come true.
Wait, if I would have said to you 5 years ago, do you want to be a SportsCenter anchor or do you want to be a head coach? How about 20 years ago, if I said, do you want to be a SportsCenter anchor or a head coach? What would you have said?
I'd say that I'd have a good chance at both. I'd say that whatever I put my mind to.
Easy here with you had a good chance at both. I mean, it's hard. There's a lot of guys who coach the Chargers. There's very few people who can really do SportsCenter here, Brandon.
Well, I grew up, getting, coffee early and reading a sports page and then watching all of the SportsCenter reruns. That's when SportsCenter had the, that's what my brothers and I were doing. So, you and Stewart and everybody, we were those young kids that were reciting lines that we knew something. So, I think we just grew up around the game, sports just in general. And so, I think all of it kind of led to this and,
it's good.
glad I took this path, because I wouldn't be nearly as believable or watchable as you are.
Oh, well, I understand that. But good luck with this. It's a great moment for you, and certainly a proud moment for all involved, including your family. And we are UD, so take that same fighting spirit there that you would have had at Dayton and bring it to the Chargers.
Thank you, Dan.
New head coach, the Chargers, Brandon Staley.